victim consciousness, a state in which individuals perceive themselves as passive recipients of external circumstances and influences, emerges when we relinquish control over our thoughts and feelings to the environment and people around us. This mindset implies a direct correlation between external events and our internal emotional state, as if our emotions are entirely at the mercy of what happens around us. This perspective can be limiting and disempowering, leading to a life experienced more as a series of reactions rather than actions. The reality, however, is that this sense of victimhood is often a habitual response rather than an absolute truth. Our emotional responses to external events are largely learned behaviors, conditioned over time through repeated experiences. While it may seem that our feelings are inherently tied to external stimuli, in truth, they are often the result of long-standing mental and emotional patterns. When we consistently focus our attention and energy on external circumstances, particularly those that trigger strong emotions like anger, sadness, or fear, we inadvertently empower these situations to control us. This unconscious allocation of power can manifest in various ways, such as feeling helpless, blaming others for our emotional state, or feeling trapped by circumstances. By giving away our power to external situations, we surrender our capacity to maintain inner peace and autonomy. This loss of personal power can lead to a diminished sense of self efficacy and a belief that our ability to experience happiness or fulfillment is contingent upon factors outside of our control. In this state, we become reactive rather than proactive, allowing our emotional well being to be dictated by the changing tides of our environment. Moreover, this cycle of victimhood can create a feedback loop where negative experiences reinforce the belief that we are at the mercy of external circumstances. This belief then primes us to interpret future events in a way that perpetuates our victim status. Breaking free from this cycle requires a conscious effort to recognize and challenge the habitual thought patterns that underpin victim consciousness. To counter victim consciousness, it is essential to cultivate a mindset of personal responsibility and empowerment. This involves recognizing that while we may not have control over external events, we do have control over our responses to them. By consciously choosing our reactions and focusing on our internal thought processes, we can begin to detach our emotions from external influences. In practice, this means developing a heightened awareness of our automatic thoughts and emotional reactions. When faced with challenging situations, instead of immediately succumbing to habitual emotional responses, we can pause, reflect, and choose a response that aligns with our desired state of being. This shift doesn't negate the impact of external events, but rather changes our relationship with them, empowering us to maintain a sense of inner peace and autonomy regardless of what is happening around us. Adopting a growth mindset is a transformative approach to life's challenges, including significant disruptions like pandemics. This mindset reframes obstacles as catalysts for personal development and growth. It goes beyond the mere maintenance of health or productivity. It represents a deliberate choice to delve into self reflection and engage in personal work, embracing activities that foster both mental and physical well being. This perspective is not just a passive acceptance of circumstances, but an active engagement in turning challenges into opportunities for self improvement. A growth mindset involves a shift in focus from external events and conditions to internal growth and development. It's about recognizing that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond to these events. The shift in perspective empowers individuals to take charge of their reactions and emotions, leading to a stronger sense of agency and self efficacy. This mindset also fosters resilience, an essential quality in navigating life's inevitable challenges. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties, but about facing them head on, learning from them, and emerging stronger. By viewing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, individuals develop a resilience that sustains them through future adversities. This resilience is bolstered by a deeper understanding of oneself, as challenges often reveal previously unrecognized strengths and capabilities. Moreover, embracing a growth mindset involves a commitment to ongoing self improvement. It's about continuously seeking ways to develop one's skills, expand one's knowledge, and deepen one's understanding of oneself and the world. This can involve a variety of practices, such as mindfulness meditation, physical exercise, reading, or engaging in creative pursuits. These activities nourish the mind and body, contributing to overall well being and a more balanced life. In addition to personal activities, a growth mindset also encourages seeking out new experiences and stepping outside one's comfort zone. This might mean exploring new hobbies, learning new skills, or even changing one's lifestyle or career path. These experiences can provide fresh perspectives and stimulate personal growth in unexpected ways. A growth mindset also promotes a healthier relationship with failure and setbacks. Instead of viewing these as negative or defining events, they are seen as integral parts of the learning process. This perspective helps individuals to persevere in the face of challenges, to learn from mistakes, and to not be discouraged by temporary setbacks. In this modern age, where information is not only abundant but also instantly accessible, the ability to discern what is truly beneficial from what is not becomes increasingly vital. The sheer volume of information available at our fingertips is both a blessing and a curse. It offers us unprecedented access to knowledge, yet it also presents a challenge in sifting through an overwhelming amount of content. This challenge is not just about avoiding misinformation, but also about identifying information that genuinely supports and enhances our well being. Discernment in this context means more than just distinguishing fact from fiction. It involves a deeper level of engagement with information, where we critically assess its impact on our emotions, thoughts, and overall mental health. In a world brimming with content designed to provoke, sensationalize, and often manipulate, it is crucial to be selective about what we expose ourselves to. The goal is to engage with information that uplifts, educates, and aligns with our personal values, rather than content that triggers negative emotions or reactions. This discernment is especially important given the varied and often conflicting messages that permeate the media landscape. Every piece of content, whether it's a news article, social media post, or a television program, carries an underlying set of values and perspectives. The ability to identify these and understand how they align with or challenge our own values is key to consuming information judiciously. Moreover, the need for discernment extends beyond avoiding negativity. It's about actively seeking content that contributes to our growth, understanding, and happiness. This might mean favoring educational content over sensational news or choosing to engage with sources that encourage critical thinking and personal development. Practicing discernment also involves understanding our own biases and how they can affect our perception of information. Recognizing our cognitive biases helps us approach information more objectively and open mindedly. It enables us to challenge our assumptions and consider alternative viewpoints, which is essential in developing a well rounded understanding of the world. In times of uncertainty and change, the distinction between reacting and responding takes on a profound significance. Reacting is often instinctive and emotional, a knee jerk response to external stimuli, whereas responding entails a more thoughtful and deliberate approach. This difference is crucial, particularly when we find ourselves in situations over which we have little control. External circumstances, whether they be global crises, interpersonal conflicts, or personal challenges, often cannot be altered by our direct actions. However, our internal reactions to these situations are firmly within our sphere of influence. This realization is not just an acknowledgement of our limitations in controlling external events, but more importantly, it's an empowerment in managing our internal world. Recognizing that we have the choice in how we interpret and respond to events is key to maintaining mental and emotional well being. It moves us from a passive state where circumstances dictate our emotional state to an active role where we have agency over our internal responses, to an active role where we have agency over our internal responses. Choosing our responses over impulsive reactions requires a level of self awareness and self regulation. It involves pausing in the face of a challenge and considering the most constructive way to deal with it. This pause allows us to reflect on the potential outcomes of different responses and choose one that aligns with our values and goals. By doing so, we transform our relationship with external events, moving from a position of helplessness to one of empowered action. Moreover, this approach helps in reducing the impact of stress and anxiety that often accompany challenging situations. When we react impulsively, we are more likely to experience negative emotions and stress, which can take a toll on our mental and physical health. By responding thoughtfully, we can mitigate these effects, approach situations more calmly, and make decisions that lead to better outcomes. In addition, choosing to respond rather than react can improve our relationships with others. Reactions are often charged with emotion and can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts. Thoughtful responses, on the other hand, are considerate of others' perspectives and feelings, fostering more harmonious and constructive interactions. This shift from reacting to responding also involves developing a greater sense of resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, and it is strengthened each time we choose a thoughtful response over an emotional reaction. This resilience not only helps us to cope with current challenges, but also prepares us for future ones. The journey from a state of victim consciousness, where we feel controlled by external circumstances, to one of empowered creation, where we consciously shape our reality, is both profound and transformative. This journey involves a fundamental shift in how we perceive and interact with the world around us. It requires us to move beyond habitual thoughts and emotions that have kept us anchored in a reactive mode and to embrace a proactive stance in crafting our lives. At the heart of this transformation is the process of reprogramming our responses to external stimuli. Typically, our reactions to events and people are conditioned responses shaped by past experiences and societal norms. To break free from these patterns, we need to consciously choose different responses, ones that align with our values and aspirations. This might mean responding with patience instead of irritation, with understanding instead of judgment, or with optimism instead of judgment, or with optimism instead of pessimism. Changing the way we engage with our environment is also crucial. This means not only altering our reactions to external events, but also actively shaping our surroundings to support our growth. It involves surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and inspire us, seeking out experiences that enrich us, and creating spaces that foster peace and creativity. This journey also necessitates a transformation of our identity. Our sense of self is often tied to our habitual thoughts and emotions. As we change these, our identity evolves. We start seeing ourselves not as victims of circumstance, but as creators of our destiny. This shift in identity is empowering and liberating, as it opens up a world of possibilities for who we can become and what we can achieve. Mindfulness is a key practice in this transformative process. It involves being present and fully engaged in the current moment, observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment. This awareness creates space between stimuli and our responses, giving us the freedom to choose how we react. Over time, Mindfulness transforms our reactive patterns into intentional actions. Conscious thought selection is another vital practice. It involves actively choosing thoughts that are empowering and aligned with our desired reality. This might mean replacing self critical thoughts with self affirming ones or shifting from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. By regularly practicing this, we reinforce neural pathways that support our new, empowering identity. As we continue on this journey, we gradually become the architects of our reality. We learn to shape our experiences and identity through intentional thought and emotion. This doesn't mean we have control over every aspect of our lives, but it does mean we have control over how we interpret and respond to our experiences.